10 o'clock and the exit poll, a first indication of how the night might unfold. More than 20,000 people took part on behalf of the BBC, ITV News and Sky in this first July election since 1945. 326 seats are needed to win. So, here we go.
And as Big Ben strikes 10, the exit poll is predicting a Labour landslide.
Sir Keir Starmer will become Prime Minister with a majority of around 170 seats.
The exit poll predicts that Labour will have captured 410 seats, adding 209. It suggests the Conservatives will have lost 241 MPs, landing on 131. All the pointers tonight are that Sir Keir Starmer is taking Labour back to power, only the fifth Labour leader to win a general election. These are the first indications of what may unfold, but a moment of history beckons. Chris.
And we are in these final seconds when everyone in the whole country, frankly, is waiting with bated breath to work out what may lie in store. Rishi Sunak called this election desperately hoping that he would be able to get a majority, and has he got it? The exit poll is here. It is predicting a Labour landslide, a Labour majority of 170. It has the Conservatives on 131 seats and Labour on 410. The Lib Dems are projected to win 61 seats, Reform on 13, with the SNP expected to secure 10. That is a simply astonishing result, record-breaking, history-making. The Tories did have, they've dropped to the lowest number of seats since 1832, I think, looking at that.
This is what's happened, ladies and gentlemen. The exit poll 2024.
Oh my God.
A Labour landslide and then some. Conservatives on 131 seats.
Can reveal it is a Labour landslide being predicted by the exit poll. The catastrophe for the Conservatives. Keir Starmer becomes the seventh Labour Prime Minister in history.
So, a Labour landslide. This is your voice. This is our country deciding.
But also polling is getting more sophisticated, and in defence of my fellow pollsters, it's got a pretty good track record.
Matt, just to interrupt, it is 10 o'clock right now, and that means the exit poll is going to be revealed. More importantly, of course, it means the polls have closed, so no one can have their say. It is done.
The exit poll result now. Let's reveal it. Let's just run through the numbers very carefully here. Conservatives, 131 seats. Labour, an astonishing victory for Sir Keir Starmer, 410.
Labour landslide, there's certainly no doubt about that. The exit poll has predicted 410 seats for Labour. That is a huge, huge number. That's not as high as some of the exit polls, the MRP polls have suggested. 131 seats for the Conservatives, 61 seats for the Liberal Democrats. That's on the upper side of what they would have been expecting. And also Reform, 13 seats. Even many in Reform were predicting far fewer than that. Also, some of the mega polls had predicted that. The Greens on 2 and the SNP down to, wait for it, just 10 seats. So let's go through that again. It is a Labour landslide. It is a Tory bloodbath. That is not overplaying it. That is not an exaggeration of what has happened, what the British people...
And we will have the exit poll imminently.
And Andrew, the expectation of the exit poll has been that the figures are going to come in just a second. The expectation has been Labour on 400 seats, plus I think we can see it now here. The exit poll shows Labour on 410 seats, the Conservatives on just 131, the Liberal Democrats on 6.
And the exit poll is in, and Labour is on course for a landslide. According to the exit poll, Labour will win 410 seats. The Conservatives are down to 131.
Hi there, this is Power in Politics. I'm David Cochrane in Ottawa. Today is Election Day in the United Kingdom and polls have just closed. That's a live shot of Big Ben. It's 10 o'clock in the United Kingdom, 5 o'clock here in Ottawa. Already voted. And what the exit poll is telling them now is that it is a Labour landslide. Labour is expected to win the most seats by any party since 2001, and the Conservatives to win the fewest seats since the party was
Global National with Donna Friesen.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. There's a big political shift underway in the UK tonight. Exit polls released after voting ended predict a Labour Party landslide, putting an end to 14 years of Conservative rule. In the UK, the votes are still being counted, but it appears Keir Starmer, leader of the centre-left Labour Party, will be the next Prime Minister and has won a huge majority.
Good evening, everyone. Millions of voters in the United Kingdom have sent a clear message tonight in a punishing result for the Conservatives, set to suffer their worst defeat, according to exit polling.
Rishi Sunak, who spent less than 2 years as the Prime Minister, and looks like he's on his way out.
And now for the Labour leader expected to be the next Prime Minister, all signs are showing that this will be a strong majority.
Look at this exit poll. If this is correct, Labour has indeed got a landslide. It's going to be a good night for the Labour Party. Not so good, of course, for the Conservatives. I just want to have a moment for reform, which looks like this party is going to win 13 seats tonight if this exit poll is correct. A reminder that
a major shift in power for the first time in 14 years. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer reports from London on what the exit polls are showing.
The polls are closed and counting's underway, Adriana, but the BBC's just announced its exit poll prediction, a massive win for the left-leaning Labour Party. Its leader is Sir Keir Starmer, a human rights lawyer, and unless every poll in the land is wrong, he will be Britain's new Prime Minister by this time tomorrow. The outgoing Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, called this election in a downpour back in May.
Facing a historic defeat, appearing to suffer an epic collapse after 14 years in power. The Prime Minister called for today's snap election, which could see the party on the wrong end of the political landslide. ABC's foreign correspondent James Longman in London.
An earthquake in British politics predicted tonight in an historic election. The UK's official exit poll showing the governing Conservative Party, led by Rishi Sunak, defeated in a landslide, ending 14 years of power.
The United Kingdom, with exit polls showing a major win for the centre-left Labour Party. Millions of Brits voting in an election marking the end of 14 years of Conservative leadership in a country that is a crucial ally for the US. The leaders of Britain's main political parties arrived at their polling stations earlier today. That's Labour Party leader Keir Starmer there on the left and Prime Minister and Conservative Party leader Rishi Sunak on the right.
A Labour majority here in the UK. The exit poll results have just been announced and I can bring them to you now. 410 seats for Labour, 131 seats for the Conservatives. We're also hearing that there are 13 seats for the right-wing Reform Party. Votes will now be counted over the coming hours and we will have all those results for you throughout the morning and today.
Yeah, not quite reaching Tony Blair's peak, but a big result anyway for the Labor Party if the results bear out.
The exit poll numbers are in and they are ugly for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and the Conservatives. Those exit poll numbers show Sir Keir Starmer's Labor Party expected to win 410 seats of 650, giving them a huge majority of around 170.